up, everybody? We're back together. No live. Me not in Florida. I'm James.
I'm JP.
I'm Ryan. And we're your CineNerds.
And today we're doing Ryan's movie. What are we doing, Ryan?
The Fifth Element. Hell yeah. James didn't like it. This is a big shocker. But I've got a great throwback for this. We'll get into this later. Let's deep dive. I can't talk. Don't know why. Let's go.
This movie did not hold well from 97 to today.
It doesn't.
Sure it does.
Now, I will say, in the 90s, I loved this movie. I watched this movie all the time.
Yeah, but you were like 20 when it came out.
No, I wasn't. What year did this come out?
97.
97, so I was 18 when this came out. But I did. I love this movie. I watched this movie on repeat constantly when I got it on VHS, because I don't even think I had it on DVD for a long time. Watching it in recent years, and it's one of these movies I still love from the nostalgia fact, but it doesn't hold up as a great science fiction film. You can't watch this film and love it the same way that I do around the same time period Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers I can watch today and it still holds up for me, versus The Fifth Element. It's like, this is...
I think I completely disagree on this one. I feel it holds up very well. And the reason I say that is because I've got kids at all different ages, and growing up, it's one of those ones I put in. And if you're not over-analyzing it, if you're not looking into every little thing, it is a great start-to-finish film. It keeps the kids engaged. They're loving it the whole time. It's got fantasy elements, different species, different aliens. The what are they? The Mogladors, the dog-looking guys.
Yeah,
they look like my dog. It's like Italian Mastiff, so it's pretty rad there too. But no, I think it holds up well, down to the weapons and the element of aliens protecting powers that protect the universe and protect life. I think it's awesome.
I can't believe that Bruce Willis signed up for this movie.
Oh, I have a little thing about that. Do you know who almost was Dallas?
Well, I know who was asked multiple times, yes.
Yeah. Well, no, he wasn't. He was the backup
Who?
to...
Well, we'll see if we're talking about the same
Mel
person.
Gibson.
Yeah, he was asked multiple times.
That would have been even worse.
Yeah.
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that would have translated.
The guy who wrote and directed this film, his office, from what I read, his office was right next to Mel Gibson's office, and he had asked him to play this role. Mel had read the script, and he said he asked him multiple times, and Mel, I guess, had thought about it over the span of 2 or 3 months, and then finally came back and said that he wasn't interested.
Because it was not good.
It was awesome.
It was not good.
But to add to that, Bruce Willis, who did take the role, did take a substantial pay cut because he loved the script so much and he wanted to play the character.
You know who else didn't get paid very well? Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman is not a fan of this film.
Well, he did this film as a favor to the director. Yeah. He owed a favor to the director.
The director had helped, I think, produce a film that Gary Oldman was doing, and he owed him a favor.
Yep.
He did it as a favor, and he was never... There's multiple interviews with Gary Oldman where he's basically says he hates this film. He hated doing this film, and he's not a fan of this film.
Well, I'm sorry he felt that way because he put out a quality product, because I definitely enjoy it.
Gary Oldman's the best thing in this film.
There's a band.
No, there's numerous.
There's a band called Corbin Dallas.
Yeah.
What?
And there's songs by the John Candy, I believe, they're referencing this movie too. I think they did this one. But to that point, though, there definitely is a John Candy song about Bruce Willis from Die Hard. And to me, this movie is essentially a sci-fi version of Die Hard. So I'm good with this. You do look at Bruce Willis.
Fuck!
It's Bruce.
Did you just say?
All right, break it down.
I'm going home already.
Break it down, man.
There's nothing to break down.
Yeah, you got the humble guy who stumbles.
How dare you soil Alan Rickman's name?
So Alan Rickman's not associated with this film, so it's fine.
Are you saying Oldman's part?
No,
look at
who is
the
character
here?
of
Can we?
Bruce Willis's character in both the movies. Die Hard. It's straight. It's a straight action movie. Same character, shooting from behind walls, same faces, same everything. Story all the way through. It's pretty much a sci-fi fistic Die Hard.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Now, here's the thing. We've had this discussion before, James. If it's not realistic, it's not for you. So I understand why, because I even knew this was going to be how you responded to the movie.
You want to go out on a ledge to try to put this stuff together like a puzzle that don't fit with the pieces, that's perfectly fine with me.
I don't need to go out on a ledge. I'm not the only one who made this comparison. But let's dig deeper.
And I love this film growing up, and I don't agree with the correlation between Die Hard and The Fifth Element.
I'm just gonna eat my Sour Patch Kids and shut up.
Let's dive into the movie. Let's go ahead.
All right, so essentially, and also I'll point out some other little fun facts. Mila Jovovich made up that language she's speaking in this too, which was her and her.
Yeah, it was a made up dialect. I think that it was like 400 words or something. I did read something that there was like 400 creative words.
I'm pretty
for
sure
this
the
dialect.
girl from that Die Antwood band, that's where she got her voice from, was this movie.
I think this was long before her.
I'm saying she got her voice. She
yeah.
mimicked what she does in that shitty band off of her part in this movie. Guaranteed.
Yolandi's hot. That's all I know. Anyways,
Bless you.
That's the
her
girl
name.
from the Antwoord. Anyways,
Why do you know that?
because she's hot.
What? Fifth Element timeout. You and Waylon have issues. Because Waylon calls her trailer park hot.
Yeah,
is that what he calls
trailer park hot?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Waylon, I agree with you.
What is wrong with you two?
It's the truth.
No.
No, now where she falls off is not hot is because of that fucking ninja. The other half, that was her husband. Like what? Like what?
One was better than the other, in your opinion?
Yeah, fucking Yolandi's great, man. She's got a whole like.
She sounds like meat, like Beaker, or what was it? Is it Beaker? Is it Beaker?
But it works. It obviously works. I mean, before all their fucking. Are you gonna stop hurting people's ears?
Nope, I'm broken.
Because you're not doing anything like what she does. You just
What it sounds
you're just
like to
making
me.
annoying noises in the mic.
That's what she does.
Anyways, I would put this character of Lilu into the Trailer Park Hot as well because it's got that same weird allure. It's I don't know. It's just not normal hot, but hot.
Just when you think you know somebody.
And they think Yolandi, is that her name? Yolandi?
What's her name?
Yolandi. And
I will not remember
they're
that
both in
in
that
5
movie
minutes.
Chappie with Hugh Jackman. That was pretty solid too.
I don't trust you. You like her Huckabees.
The ironic thing about how I remembered her name was Yolandi was because Waylon named his dog Yolandi.
Did he?
Yes.
Well, that's a little much. Poor dog. She's probably sore walking around all the time.
Well, that dog passed away.
Oh, is it? I mean, anyways.
All right, back to Fifth Element. This derailed even worse.
Wow.
My fault. Should have known better.
All right, so the premise of this whole movie is that every 5,000 years, a darkness or the evil, comes back and basically judges all life in the universe and can put it to an end. There's only one weapon against it. It is the Fifth Element, and Lilu, Mila Jovovich's character, is the life embodiment of that Fifth Element, if you will.
But is she? Because that's not how I always understood that.
Well, she's the tool. She's the
tool.
She's like the vessel, if you will. And if she doesn't, if she doesn't find love, then we're screwed.
Yeah, because the Fifth Element I always interpreted as
is being
love.
It's
right. Love.
Right. But she's the vessel that has to find the love. So
I'm just now learning what this movie was about. I had no idea.
It's about love. Yeah. Yeah.
It is, but it also is about universal defense and fucking crushing the bad guys. So
how love can overtake the darkness.
Just listen to the rhythm of the heart.
Today we're taking a deep dive into James's vocal impressions.
Dude, I'm so tired I can't do shit.
Oh boy.
Hey, I was here an hour before you, and I flew in this morning at 7:30. So I don't want to hear it.
He sat at the airport all night.
All night, again. watching this bullshit movie.
And you had a crazy conversation with some woman.
I had a wonderful conversation. Not crazy, wonderful. And then I took a little nappy nap. And I got on the flight. I tried to understand what the Fifth Element was about. Apparently, I just found out it's about love. And so we're your CineNerds, man.
And lady at the airport, he said you gave us a follow, so hopefully you're watching.
Thank you. I didn't even get her name. I'm so sorry if you watch or listen.
He said lady at the airport.
Send us an email. Was it 3cinenerds@gmail.com? Is that right?
You should know this by now. What we're
I don't use the email. You guys use the email.
We're like, what, 20-some episodes in
I
now?
don't use the email. Only thing I get is Reddit emails from that piss me off.
They probably are decent emails, too.
They're not.
Forward them.
They're not.
According to you, you don't know what Fifth Element is, and you don't know what it meant. You think it's a horrible movie. I can't look at you. I said I can't look at you. I'm looking away. I've had enough of you.
So I have questions.
Okay, ask. Just quickly.
In the beginning.
This is how the Bible starts.
That's what that was?
Well, no, I'm just making a
What
statement.
the hell was going on?
Are we talking about Luke Perry?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
So Luke Perry
Teach me.
Okay, so
maybe I'll like it more.
There's a archaeological dig. This professor has stumbled across finding out that there's these 5,000-year cycles, this alien race that protects. He's looking at hieroglyphs, essentially. Luke Perry is his assistant, and he's drawing everything as he's going. He's very bored. And when the aliens arrive, they're the protectors and the keepers of these stones and making sure that we're protected and safe. They arrive to Earth, and they say, basically, Earth's no longer safe. We have to take these away from the Earth. The professor tries to stop them, and he's killed. But Luke Perry kind of stays there. He's not attacking, not trying to stop him. He's just drawing everything as he goes. And what he draws and what he gets out of this essentially becomes a religion that goes forward 300 years to when we come into this time.
I don't feel like I watched the same movie.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
And the priest that is there, he is the current person who is keeping this faith, this protection circle, if you will, alive and going. He has his understudy with him, and then he meets Corbin Dallas and he meets Lilu, and the adventure unfolds.
It doesn't like spell it out that this is exactly what happened, but it's just how it plays out.
I needed it spelled out.
Yeah,
I did like those guys.
You needed Morgan Freeman narrating that whole part for you.
Yes, and maybe the rest of the movie on top of it. I did like those guys.
It was the best of times. I can't do a Morgan Freeman, but
I did like the alien guys. I like the way they did the creatures.
I think all of the aliens look great in this.
I thought the ones that at the end, those guys were just blobs. They are the reason why I don't like to watch Star Wars. It's just bleh.
Which ones?
The ones at the end that were trying to take everybody out. The bad guys.
Oh, the dog guys.
I don't like
those.
Those
are Mogladors.
I like the other guys because they look like the aliens look like they're robotic.
Little robots.
Yeah,
armored suits.
they were like turtle robots. Like I don't know what that was, but I liked it.
I could totally see one of them like turning and like lifting his shell, going, "Am I not turtly enough to be in your turtle club?"
What just happened?
You never seen Master of Disguise?
Was that Steve Martin?
Dana Carvey.
No. I have not.
One of the greatest scenes ever. Just go look it up. All you guys go look it up if you've never seen it. Just look up Master of Disguise, Turtle Club. You'll thank me later.
Okay. More questions.
The gun.
The badass gun. I will say the gun's still badass.
I have a question. Not a question on the gun. I did like the gun.
It's a Swiss Army knife of guns.
And the fact that it shot the rope thing made me like. I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. But I did like the kill switch. Just wait, hit the red button. I did like that.
What movie was it recently? So that gun, the actual prop, was recycled and reused recently in a recent movie. You guys happen to know which one it was?
I do, and I do not know.
It was
what
the Blue Beetle. DC's Blue Beetle,
Yep.
which was a great, one of the better live action DC attempts. I will give it that. DC has failed numerous times for me on the live action front. Blue Beetle was actually solid.
I love it, and I was excited for Blue Beetle because I was a Blue Beetle fan.
Me too, and I think they found the right. I'll never say his name because I always get it wrong. But
The kid from Cobra Kai.
Yeah, but he definitely was a great candidate for this. I think it worked well. But that gun, when one of the first times he formed a gun in his hand with the Blue Beetle suit, it was that gun.
Yeah.
And you actually zoomed in on it and said, "What? Where'd this come from?" It's kind of nice.
According to this movie started in 1914.
Yeah, that's when the archaeological thing was
that's
happening.
Luke Perry's character.
I kind of felt like that was like earlier. They made
Luke
it
Perry
feel
ripped?
like it was longer.
No, I mean even the costume design felt like it was 1920s maybe or something like that. So
I just don't have much to say about this one. And the fact, look, and this is where, but I will say this. This is where, like, nothing will ever make sense. Not even just to me, but just in general. You never know, in general, what's going to make people happy and what's not. And I know I'm jumping way far ahead, so just bear with me because I won't give it away. But we have talked about movies on this podcast. We have not done, we're still in an infancy of this podcast. We've only done, what, 20?
this should end up being our 19th episode.
And with that being said, we have talked about movies, and we're like, that's all the box office did. This was a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell this movie did what it did?
This movie did well
Because for the time it came out, it was unbelievable. It was awesome. You see that movie on the big screen translated so well on the big screen. Mm-hmm. It was phenomenal to see that in the theater.
So if they brought it back out in IMAX right now, you'd be first in line.
I would go give that.
I would go watch it.
If they gave it the full
If you guys
treatment,
pay, I'll go.
Yeah, I would go watch. I'd go watch this in IMAX if they re-released.
If they gave this the free remastering treatment and did the whole bit, it would be well worth going to see it in IMAX.
I think it would be great to see this like a 2-part IMAX experience with this and Valerian.
Ooh, I'm curious. What do you think about Valerian?
Well, Valerian's done by the same writer director.
Well, and
it's supposed to be the same universe, kind of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I was intrigued by Valerian. I liked it. I really hate that it didn't get more. Another one in that same realm was John Carter.
Yeah.
I like that too. What are you giggling about over here?
The writer director, he actually married Mila Jovovich.
Well,
yes, he actually.
Well, here's the funny thing.
He had his wife in the movie.
Yeah, his wife is the blue alien
Yeah.
that sings the opera. That's his wife in costume and makeup.
Wow.
And
This might be my new favorite guy. I mean, like, that's just balls no one has.
Well, here's the thing. So while they were married, so that they could get their language together and understand that language that him and Mila made up, Mila and him are writing letters back and forth to each other in this language. So I'm guessing things unfolded from there. And then also to that point, after him and Mila became a thing, the next movie, because this movie was intended to become a trilogy. There were supposed to be 2 more of these. They were supposed to take this further.
About what?
But they wrapped But that's the thing. They wrapped everything so well. It wasn't necessary, and they ended up going on over to. I think the next project that he did with Mila was Joan of Arc. So it was interesting how that all tied together.
Yeah, he by the end of the film, he divorced his wife and married Mila.
Like that same year.
Yeah.
Like, we're done. I do.
Yep. And then I think they got divorced a couple years later.
Yeah,
2 years later.
Short-lived. Do you know who the original... So one of the characters that's one of the more, like, memorable characters in the movie is Ruby Rhod, who was played by Chris Tucker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who was supposed to play that role?
I do.
That was like one of the weirdest roles I've ever seen. No, I mean, why would I?
It was supposed to be played by Prince.
That would have been so much better.
No, let me. So here's the reason why. Prince, first of all, has a completely different personality. So he would have been more like dapper, sly, quiet, not so obnoxious. You kind of needed that.
I think he would have felt more like Billy D. Williams playing.
Well, do you know why he turned it down?
Mm-mm.
Because he saw the costume designs and thought they were too feminine. Which really fucked with me because it's Prince. I've seen some of Prince's outfits. I thought Ruby Rhod's his designs and his outfits were almost based off Prince, but then I found out that the whole character Chris Tucker based off of Michael Jackson, which is weird.
Yeah. Now, we was talking about his wife doing the opera scene. You know that footage actually got lost and damaged and almost was unusable.
Really?
Yes, so the guy that was, I guess, transporting the film, it got lost at the airport, and then it dropped out of the plane somehow, or while they were unloading, and it was ran over by a forklift. And by the time he got it back, they found it. He got it back. That a lot of the footage was actually damaged, and so he had to splice together the salvageable footage from the reel, because it was all reels back then. It wasn't digital back then, so he had to do a lot of splicing to make that scene even work.
Wow.
So that
I didn't know that part. That's kind of interesting.
I was never a Chris Tucker fan because of his voice, his iconic like Friday, that whole.
Well, so
I like Rush Hour, and I like Chris Tucker in this film.
I just don't understand how the darkness decided to mess with Debo. Like, why are you messing with Debo, yo?
See, I liked seeing him in it. I did just watch something though with Chris Tucker, and I was like, that was really nice. Oh, he was in Air. That's right, he was in Air, but he wasn't annoying, and I thought that was awesome.
See, I always see him not as Debo or
Debo.
I always see him as Zeus.
Yeah,
from No Holds Barred.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I might put that on my list for.
We'd actually talked about doing No Holds Barred,
just because it was so bad. It was awesome.
Hey, see, now you get it.
That's
You're starting to get it.
Yeah, that's the see.
No, this is not the start. This is
like
my one.
Hold on, let me.
Because as a kid, I loved wrestling.
But let's
talk about that. I feel a breakthrough.
Yes,
here.
we're getting
high.
somewhere. No. That's a later movie. Anyways,
50 milligrams.
To me, what makes a movie magical and what makes it hold up and gives it that element, there has to be a portion that has nostalgia to it in some way, shape, or form. It has to be something that triggers you and brings you back to a better time or makes you think of something else. If it doesn't have that, I don't think the movie's memorable and it's not going to stay with me. It's got to be something that brings me back to it. So when you're saying those things, you're starting to understand why. Like a movie like that, if he was 18 and I was 17 and we saw that, like that was good shit back then, and you're younger, and so it holds up. That's the same thing with like seeing Star Wars when I was 6. There's lots of Star Wars references I can pull into this too, but I won't.
Just kill me now.
I was a little upset with some of the costume designs for Bruce Willis's character in some of this, but I can get
What
past
costume
that.
design? He just wore an orange shirt.
That orange shirt was so fucking annoying. I don't know why.
He looked like a cone.
Nuts.
What about Gary Oldman's
The head
plastic piece on his head?
Why?
So I've debated dyeing my hair black for Halloween, and because I have my side shaved in my head, and doing that because every time I get a fresh haircut, I'm like, God damn it, I look like Gary Oldman. Like it bothers the crap out of me.
I don't see it.
No, you get to look. It's like a full comb over.
You kind of look like the guy who ate Gary Oldman.
I'm Gary Fullman. Gary Fullman, motherfuckers! Don't forget it. There's Gary Newman, Gary Oldman, Gary Fullman, and that is me.
I'm changing my phone to Gary Fullman.
You're welcome. Okay.
Oh, that was mean, but it was an easy shot.
Hey, I built on it and gave you the name. There you go. Yeah. You can't laugh at yourself. It's not funny. James, I want to know more of your dislikes, though. I want to talk about those.
All of it.
All of it. Come on, give me some more details. What was something that really pissed you off? What's something that you were like, come on?
All of it.
Oh,
like okay. Can you explain to me how traffic works in the future? Because they all just drive wherever the hell they want.
So
but
you know what?
No one hits anybody.
In Back to the Future 2, in Star Wars on Coruscant, in this movie, I agree with you. That does bother me. Like that, the whole flying lanes thing.
It's like
not,
Jetsons. Everyone just goes wherever the hell
and
they
they
want.
drop down, go up. Like and no one's like.
There's no rhyme or reason to it.
There is definitely some.
Like he's like, we're just gonna go down in the shit.
I think that's just where everyone saw cars going as they dreamt of the future, like in that period piece. Because I mean, I don't honestly see those things happening in most movies being made now. At least,
Like, at least Demolition Man had like a process.
That's right. I forgot about that. Oh, I wouldn't. I mean, that one's got its own faults, but we won't get into that.
But the cars had a process.
They auto drive.
They were
Yeah.
auto drive. Yeah. Like, there was a process to get you from point A to point B. They're in 2263. What did it say here?
That reminds me.
They're in. Where's it? I just saw it. Seriously? I just saw it. 2263. And they're still driving their own cars? I'm pissed. Why am I still driving my own car in 2263?
But they're flying their own cars.
With
they're not flying them well.
No rhyme or reason to where they're going and how they're getting there without getting in an accident or hitting something else. Like, where was the ground?
Oh, it was way down there.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Tesla is releasing the Robotaxi soon.
Yeah.
So that is, there you go. It's going to be, it's coming.
We can't handle that.
I know we can't.
Do you know where we're at? We have gone backwards in humanity.
What was the recent movie on Netflix that Julia Roberts is in, where there's end of the world scenario?
Don't Look Up.
No, was it Don't Look Up? No, that's a different one. That one was another end of the world scenario. This one's the one where everyone starts going crazy and they're in the countryside of the house.
I've not seen this one. I know what you're talking about. Yes, I wanted to see this one, and I can't think of what it's called now.
I can't remember the.
I'm sure
yeah,
James
he's
Leave the World Behind.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
So there's a scene in that was really interesting, where they're where whatever's happening.
Oh, Ethan Hawke's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
love Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke's. Talk about one of those comeback actors. Like, he's come back out of nowhere. Like, he was good, and he had a time where he fell off, and just lately he's been amazing.
I think I want to stop you there because Ethan Hawke never fell off.
Well, he disappeared. I don't mean fell off in a bad way. I mean, like, he definitely was out for a while.
Maybe a little bit, but man, he's done so much in horror and action films over the past 20 years.
I really like Black Phone.
Yeah. Well, the one before that, before Black Phone, it was what starts with an S.
Well, he did the original Purge. He did Sinister.
Thank you. That's the
even
one.
Before then, he did stuff like Training Day with Denzel Washington. I mean, this Ethan Hawke is one of those guys that's done it all, and he's done some great fucking films.
Oh, I agree with you. I'm just saying
he's going. Don't talk shit about Ethan Hawke.
It is. I mean, Daybreakers alone. That one's great.
So,
can we talk about how in this particular picture of him, he looks like he's Mark McGrath?
I can see that.
No, those see questionable moments. That's okay.
Yeah.
But the Leave the World Behind. There's a scene where they're trying to block people off from leaving a certain area by using all the Teslas they can from a Tesla lot, and they're self-driving in this area to purposely wreck, and they're just coming in droves, and they pile up in this area. It was kind of creepy, but the self-driving element is definitely
I just feel like in that particular time frame of life, there was no plan, and everyone just did the same thing. Like, and honestly, I feel like if they would have took time to, if someone, any of these movies that did this futuristic shit would have took time to have a plan for that, it actually would have made the whole movie a lot better and tied better. Because when I see parts like that, the only parts of this movie I've ever seen on, like, going through channels or whatever, or at a friend's house and it's just on, is the driving sequence with her in the car and him. And I'm like, it made me not want to watch it.
But don't get me wrong. I definitely, if I were to watch this movie fresh for the first time right now and not have seen it growing up, I definitely could tear it apart. But this isn't one of those movies you do that to. Well, this is one of those movies you just enjoy it.
But
that's why I'm here.
I was gonna say, but I think this is the first time that he's ever seen it. So
I've never seen the whole movie.
Well, I know, but I'm just trying to say, like, it's one of those movies that if you just let it be a movie, you'll enjoy it a lot more. If you look too deep into it, you're gonna find lots to complain about. Sure.
So don't be you guys on every other movie.
I mean, I have a balance. I talk
You
about
have
what's
more
good
of a balance.
and bad.
So don't be JP.
What are you talking about? I'm agreeing with you on this.
On this one, yes, but you do tend to, like.
I like crap movies.
You love to go. Oh, that's broke. This is okay. No, you're very meticulous with.
But those. I love crap movies too, and I love them for the fact that they're garbage. So there's also that flip side of it.
But you
too.
still rip them apart. You love them, but you still bring it up.
Well, yeah.
That's where I'm at right now. Hi.
No, I agree. I mean, even talking about the way the cars are flying and everything, I think everybody at the time period was so obsessed with the Jetsons and Back to the Future, the fact of we should have flying cars, that they did it in this film. Like you said, they did it in Star Wars, and I don't think it works in any of them.
I don't know either.
I've never thought it worked. The only thing
that's actually why I liked Demolition Man. Because they were on the ground. They were still moving. Because we're not going to fly. Let's just be honest here.
The only thing out of Back to the Future, out of the future sequences that we didn't get that I wish we did get wasn't flying cars. It was fucking hoverboards. That's the only thing I wish we had. I mean, the flying cars I don't need that.
You didn't want the Nike mags?
So
No.
if you look into
You know how much they'll sell for?
A lot I've seen.
Oh yeah, I've seen people wearing them around. Like that's just insane.
If you see someone wearing, you should punch them in the face.
But
steal their
hoverboards, hoverboards are
you
actually
don't wear those outside.
hoverboards are actually something that came very close to fruition. The problem with them was that the legalities from the person who holds the patent, supposedly, there was too many people would have gotten hurt, killed otherwise. So they shelved them essentially, from my understanding. So that's why we have the one wheel hoverboards now instead.
The little wheelie.
Yeah, all that crap.
I tried Heelys once. I fell down. I never did again.
I've never tried Heelys.
I was working at Journeys, so I tried them in the back room, and I fell and caught both of the racks holding all the shoes, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
The two times that Ohio's had a 0.2 earthquake, it was me falling off a skateboard. And so
Was that before or after you ate Gary Oldman?
that was when I was Gary Skinnyman, and then I ate him, and I was full.
So
I'm waiting for him to just go.
that's fair. I'll accept it. That's fair.
I don't know. I gotta take it on the chin, man.
Oh,
Why did they have to name him Zorg?
Why not?
can we talk about the fact that, and you probably know this, I don't know if he picked up on it, but this movie...
I didn't pick up anything.
Okay,
Are you going to talk about Dallas and Zorg?
That the fact that Gary Oldman and Bruce Willis, they are the antagonists and protagonists of this film, but they're never in the same scene with each other the entire movie. They never face each other. They don't even know each other actually exist.
Correct.
I kind of like that.
I always loved that fact in this film, that the main protagonist and antagonist don't even know each other exist, start to finish, the entire film. Even when the film ends, they do not know each other exist.
I always wondered if that was a workaround and there was some kind of off-camera thing we didn't know about where him and Bruce Willis didn't get along. I don't know anything about that or possibility of that.
I don't know if that, and I never saw anything on that.
But it worked.
It works. No, it works.
Yeah.
So, and the scene, the explosion scene, the hallway explosion scene.
Okay.
Do you know that? And it may not be now, but at the time, it was that hallway explosion scene was the biggest indoor explosion on camera ever filmed. That was it was all practical effects. It wasn't CGI. None of that was CGI. All those explosions were practical. And
I loved the evil, darkness, whatever you'd prefer to call it. I loved that it was an orb, that it communicated, and I loved that when Debo decided to shoot nukes at it, or missiles, whatever we were shooting, it just grew and became more enormous. And I don't know why that just was amazing to me. It was kind of the only thing that can really pierce it or get through to it is love, right?
Well, yeah, it was love. But this is one thing that's always bothered me about this film, and I don't know if I've really ever made this argument out loud, but I've had it in my head through the years. One thing I absolutely hate about The Fifth Element, the darkness, this whole plot, the whole plot of The Fifth Element, with this darkness coming and showing up to Earth to basically judge us, is exactly the plot to Star Trek The Voyage Home, where they go back in time with the whales. Mm-hmm. with the the alien thing showing up.
It's not the Mist.
It's not the Mist. It's almost the exact same plot. Everything, other than it's not love that they're descended off. Is they have to make it shows up, and if they hear the whales talk back to them, it leaves. But it's basically the same storyline as Star Trek. They really, to me, I always felt like he ripped the storyline of Fifth Element.
You know what? So, and we're gonna. There's a later one we're gonna discuss. Where I have comparisons to, but to me, like, I think just like music, cinema has reached a point where there's a formula to it and almost a consistent pattern. So when you're making certain films, there's going to be something that can always be patterned or identified as that prior. I don't think there's not too many real original things out there anymore. So it's inevitable.
Do you feel we just progressed too fast and then we just hit a wall?
No, I feel the opposite.
I do.
No, this one pisses me off. This one makes me mad because this is a Hollywood thing. They want the quickest dollar. They see the formulas that work and the patterns in the movies. That's why all your action movies are coming out now have basically the same beginning, middle, and end, or broken up into 3-part movies the way they are. They want that quick dollar. That's why we're getting all the remakes. We're not getting originality anymore. And so I think once they see a formula that works, they're like, we're sticking to it because this is going to make us money. And it bothers me because there's so much great independent strength and unique ideas out there that we haven't even tapped into yet.
So we're due for another Kevin Smith.
I mean, even Kevin Smith seems like I love you, Kevin. I love you with all my heart, and your material's quality.
But even Kevin knows that he has a certain formula. I mean, that's not even in a negative light. I mean, I love Kevin Smith films, but his films have a certain formula too.
Well, formula aside, though,
Kevin Smith knows that he's never going to direct a Star Wars caliber movie. He understands his limitations. I've heard him say this in interviews, podcasts, because I listen to him and watch a lot of it, because I love Kevin Smith.
I do too.
And but he knows. I mean, just like when he walked on set for The Force Awakens, he walked on and he's like, I saw this and I never thought I've never seen anything like this before.
But here's the thing. I also think that's because they know Kevin Smith is a gamble. They know that he can say very provocative things, that he can challenge people's mindsets, that he can make people move in a different direction, approach things differently, and I think that they're concerned about that. So putting him, like, they give some randoms some opportunities in Star Wars too. Like, so Kevin Smith, to me, not getting an opportunity just tells me that they're afraid of him.
I don't think Kevin Smith would want that responsibility. I don't think that he thinks that he can do it.
He wants to stay a fan of it.
He wants to be a fan. Yeah.
Well,
and that's me, and that's not me. Everything I was saying wasn't even in a negative light of Kevin.
Yeah,
I'm repeating stuff that I have heard Kevin say.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And I've heard him say on numerous occasions, like, I don't understand how they do this. As a director, I don't understand how they do. So I don't ever see him doing that kind of film. He's going to stick with what he knows. He does these great independent films, and even these silly horror films.
But that's why I said what I said. Like, we need guys like him to keep us out of. We need the lower, like the one step below that's running their own. Because once you go up here, now you got to play the way we play. Mm-hmm. And there's people like Kevin who don't want to play that way. They want to do. He wants to do him.
You got guys like him and Don Cascarelli, Phantasm. John dies at the end.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. But you've got a lot of guys through the years that have stayed pretty much independent and done their own thing, and they've done great films.
Right, and the independent, like our buddy from the Whole Damn Enchilada podcast, Rick hit me up the other night and offered me tickets to the Cleveland Film Festival for the short horror.
Yeah,
film.
He had asked me too, and I was I had work. I was tied up. I couldn't
go either.
Thanks
but
for
I would
invite, pal.
But I would have.
You were in Florida.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna go anyway.
But I guess the point I'm saying
No
is
offense.
though that those things are important to go and support local independent filmmakers in those contexts. And I was appreciative of that offer. Thank you. But I love going to those things because you never know what you're going to find around the corner.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always some.
Well, and Rick's album, we went and watched, and for the life of me, I can't even think of the guy's name, but he's a local guy here in Cleveland. And we went and watched one of his films, and I can't even think of what it was. Oh, it was Melonheads. We watched Melonheads with him. And so, I mean, and I picked up a couple of that director's films while I was there because he had merch set up. And this was before we left for the last tour. And it was fun. And I went the other night, yesterday, we went to Nightmare Cleveland for the zombie war zone type thing where they had the zombie.
Oh, you went to that?
Yeah. Me and Rick went yesterday. It was pretty badass.
Oh, I want to go to that so bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right.
So for me though, this movie, start to finish, is just dumb fun. I loved it. I always will love it. It'll always have a place in my heart. I think it's a good movie. I love anytime I get the opportunity to see Bruce Willis on film. At this point, I'm always appreciative of it because we don't have him anymore. He's here, but he's not verbal. And so I think that seeing those moments on screen helps keep that legacy going strong, and I love it. I don't know.
I can agree with that. I mean, like I said when we started, I love this film. I watched this film religiously growing up. I've seen this film. I mean, it would be fair to say I've seen this film 50 times.
Yeah,
and
easy.
And the more I've watched it, and especially in recent years, I kind of I fall back with more of an agreement with how James feels about the film watching it for the first time now, because to me it just doesn't hold up again, and I'm using the comparison because they came out about the same time. You look at Starship Troopers, you look at Fifth Element. To me, Starship Troopers, that film still feels.
Have you seen all the stuff going on right now with that?
What, with Helldivers?
Yeah, so I play Helldivers.
Oh, I play a little bit too.
But there's the automatons, which are like the Terminators and robots, and then they've got the cryptoids or whatever they are, the insects.
Yeah.
Well, Casper Van Dien wants in.
Yeah.
He wants to do a co deal with that, and I think that'd be amazing. And
Helldivers 2 is literally Starship Troopers. It's literally all it is.
Well, no, there's other species.
There's other stuff.
But when you do the cryptoids, that is exactly
it's literally Starship Troopers.
Do you guys speak English?
No.
Well, see, this is one of the reasons why you judging this as a first-time watch, I didn't expect much out of you with this because you're not a sci-fi guy. You don't like anything that's kind of fantasy or fiction. I
sent you guys a picture of Jabba the Pup.
You don't know what it means.
I know who it is.
He's the only character he knows.
It's the character reason why I won't watch the damn movie.
The "You Are Your Father" meme you sent had my son. My son finally, like, it was so funny. I showed him this meme.
Don't ruin your kids.
No, Justice gets it. He's 20. I showed him the meme, and he didn't get it for a minute. And he's walking up the stairs. He's like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious!" It kicked in, and I was just I was dying laughing at that more than it was anything. But I put "That's funny," and he's like, "What'd you reply with?" You were like, "Huh?" Or something, I don't know. Yeah. But you're not the sci-fi guy, and that's okay.
Yeah, the context to that, I sent them a meme in the chat that was Mace Windu that said, they never told you what happened to your father or something like that.
And he's talking to Boba Fett.
And then Boba Fett responds with, I know enough, and then it shows Mace again, and he says, you are your father. Or something that.
For the non-Star Wars nerds out there, Boba Fett is a clone, and so he's his own father. So, yeah, that was kind of funny.
Stupid.
Yeah. God, yeah, this is so, James, I equate you to, the, uptight girlfriend who doesn't understand the guy when she goes over his house the first time and there's, toys hanging on the walls. Oh, my God.
Don't get it.
What is that thing with this? You're that girl. That's okay.
We will watch Starship Troopers. Actually, I thought about making that one of my next picks.
No, please, not yet.
Mainly only, but actually, because it's on my list. It's been on my list of movies to do. But the only reason I've thought about moving it up is because Helldivers 2 is so popular right now, and Helldivers 2 is literally Starship Troopers, and there's a huge video game fan base. It's just all into that right now.
The only if you were just watching a normal sci-fi movie and just seeing the elements of the bugs versus the soldiers in that movie, you probably would be like, yeah, whatever. But the propaganda approach and how cheesy, over the top,
makes that movie great.
And Doogie Howser
and Clancy Brown.
Yes. That's the same face Doogie's making. It's funny.
All through it.
All right, let's move into the end zone here. All right.
So now that we've established the ending was love, love saves the world and saves Corbin Dallas. And what was the budget for this, James? I know you got it.
$90 million. It seems a little lot for 97.
That seemed honestly I think that's low. Honestly,
I think it's many practical effects and early CGI.
What do you think the box office did?
I actually didn't look any of these up, so I'm gonna guess as well. So you go ahead and then I'll guess. Then you.
I'm gonna say for this one, I'm going high. I usually do, but I'm gonna say 150 mil.
I'm going to say.
Are we gonna play Price is Right rules here? Closest.
Just whoever's closest.
Closest without going over.
Nah, it's whoever's closest. I'm going to say. You said 150 million worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to say 100 domestic, and I'm going to say 51. I'm going to say 51 million,
move, dude. So you're just saying 151 total. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. Dick.
263.9 million.
See, I think
that goes back to what I said earlier today.
And
you don't know what is going to make people go.
You know what?
I knew this movie made a lot, but I wasn't sure how much it made.
This is the weird example. So this one's one of those ones where like you guys look at me like I'm crazy. Some of these numbers I throw out because you really don't know. But like I always gauge high, thinking the box office just crushed and did better. But this is one of those ones that I think grabbed onto people and spread like wildfire at the time.
But again, and we talked about this before too. How many Rotten Tomato percentages of like Adam Sandler? Arguably one of the best actors we've had of our lifetime. Like no, I'm not saying no. Hear me out. As far as popularity, maybe not the best actor, but popularity wise, the guy's massive. And his movies get rated garbage constantly.
What was the ratings on this?
What do you think?
If I had to guess, I'm going to say it has...
Are we doing Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, I would say, let's say 60% Rotten Tomatoes, and the critics, and then the fans, I will say it's probably 80.
I'm not going to lie, I was thinking the exact same numbers.
60, 80.
Tomato meter, 71%. Audience score, 86.
So that's about on par with what we were saying.
Yeah.
But
like I said, if you go and like, look, I'm not saying Adam Sandler is some amazing actor.
You're still talking about him.
But I'm just saying, like, but if you go back and look at his movies, they're like 25%, 34%. Like they're super low. But yeah, this is a guy that's getting paid how much to do 5 movies with Netflix?
I guarantee you. You said the critic. What was the critics?
71 and 86.
71 and 86. Okay. I bet if you look up Starship Troopers, critics is low, and I bet audience is high. Because critics hated that film when it came out. But it's a better film.
Hold on.
This one was rated higher, and I promise you it's rated higher because Gary Oldman and Bruce Willis is in it.
What year was that movie?
Around the same time.
Found it. Oh, Denise Richards was in that.
Mm-hmm.
72 and 70.
Wow. I did not really think the audience score would be lower.
It was low. It dropped, and the tomato meter went up 1.
Yeah, because usually I figured the audience, because most people who talk about Starship Troopers hold that film in a very high regard. So that actually surprises me.
Let's go with yours first.
My rating?
Yes, and then I'll go to James, and then I'll finish.
Again, had I rated this in 97, I would have gave this probably a 4 or higher. I probably would have been like 4.2 because I generally love this film. As of today, it's going to hold in the middle ground just for nostalgia, but I'm going to put it at. I'm going to give it a 2.4 out of 5.
2.4?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's in the middle. 2.5 would be dead center. We'll say 2.
I would have thought you would go that low, but okay.
I thought you were going to go like 3.5.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No,
too.
that's not middle. 2.5 is middle.
Yeah, I just still thought you were going to. You
mean,
said around.
You can do math. Good for you.
Yeah, at least I'm not doing.
You can do the math.
2.469er. Yeah.
Don't you forget
Joe
that fucking
Bob
Niner.
6. Yeah. What you got?
Honestly, okay, look, I talked a lot of shit, but I didn't hate it as much as I probably let on.
Sometimes his hatred is just to antagonize me for the pure show.
Both of you.
I don't think. I think he enjoyed it just because Bruce Willis was in it.
Yeah, I like Bruce Willis. I always thought Bruce Willis.
That's
was a great
why he made that face, though.
But I mean, I did I understand like what did I follow the plot the whole time? Hell no. I've already complained about what I wanted to complain about, but I mean, I give it a 3.
Well, you actually went higher than me.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. Just because the only reason why, if it came out now, I give it a 3 because of what they had to do for the effects back then.
Yeah.
There was a lot of work put into that. And that's a lot of imagination that you have to figure out how to bring to life that now is just fake. It's just computer. It's easy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy work, but it was harder work back then to make a movie like this than it would be right now. So I give credit where it's due.
Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, I bet you didn't expect me to say that.
No. I didn't expect you to go higher than JP either.
Suck it.
I didn't expect him to go higher than me.
Yeah, no. So for me, this...
But I do want to point out that I said on my original years of this, it would have been over a 4 for me. So
when he was 17...
Can I get there? Can we? Yeah, no, maybe. You're doing it again. Are you thinking about Bruce Willis again?
Wait a minute.
You guys are hilarious. Anyways, so this one, nostalgia purposes, my kiddo's liking it. It's just being dumb fun and a great movie, action-packed, start to finish. I won't go over a 4 on this one, but I'm going to do a 3.9 nerds for me on this one. I feel like this one is just a good, solid movie. There's nothing crazy. I have only given 2 5s so far. One I cannot speak of, and the other was Die Hard. So I will.
I do think this movie could have been a little bit shorter.
Absolutely. It honestly, and through my years of rewatching this, there's a lot of pacing issues that could have been cut. This movie could have been shorter.
That's his new phrase. That's his new thing. Pacing.
Yeah.
So
it's because he doesn't run.
I normally would say yes with this one, but I felt like they got everything into the window they needed to. But if this was indeed intended to be a trilogy originally, then I would have said yes, could be shorter. But because they got it all into one movie, I'm good with it, where it was.
It does make sense. At least we'd have to do another one.
We could do Valerian.
He'd probably like Valeria. It's more modern.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, you can find us at on Facebook and social media, of course, but email us, please, 3cinenerds@gmail.com. You can send us any kind of suggestions, questions, anything you guys have. Also, check out our link tree on the Facebook page, because the link tree has all of our links to all the areas you can find the podcast, as well as our merch store on there. So please give it a check.
I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to actually read a review. We've got a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This is from JuicyJ315. Yes, that is this person's name. Entertaining of the nerds. These guys give honest reviews. The podcast is entertaining. It's fun to listen to. Their banter makes it worth listening. Check them out.
Man, we duped whoever that is.
Yeah. I'm flattered, and that's very kind. Thank you. That's a cool review.
So go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm just scared if that's my wife, because Jessica, Juicy J, I'm just wondering. And she knows all the words to 3-6 Mafia and Juicy J. I don't know. I'm a little concerned here.
Well, you can ask her to see if that's her.
Yeah,
I don't know who it is. So, but that being said,
leave a
review. You write a review. We see it. I'd like to start reading a review every episode. So, put a review. Go if you're watching us on YouTube, if you're listening to us on Spotify, if you're listening to us on whatever you're listening on, go to whatever you're listening on. Write a review. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. But please go to Apple Podcasts. Write a review. Go to Spotify. Leave us a 5-star rating.
Or whatever you feel.
Yeah, or whatever you feel. I'm going to recommend 5-star. As always, click like, share, go to our Facebook, go to our YouTube, invite people. Let's build this.
Word.
Bye-bye.
We're 3 CineNerds.
Let out.